I'm Dr. Steve Perry, and you're checking out RETV.
This is Sonia Armstead from Powerhouse Productions.
And this is Rochelle Brown.
You're watching RETV,
where the real power lives.
Too many children don't have access to people who believe in them. And as a result, they don't feel like they have a life worth living. That's where you see all this gunplay coming from. The only people who shoot people are people who feel like they ain't got nothing to do tomorrow worth staying out of jail for.
If you browse every city's newspaper, you will most certainly come across countless stories of youth violence. But this cycle of unfortunate behavior has been going on for decades. Many have tried to solve the dangerous trend of youth violence, and many have failed. The casualties of society's shortcomings are the youth in California and Chicago who choose the gun for rival gangs, or the drug dealer feeder program in Detroit that teaches the young about the value of $1, or the endless gun attacks in New Jersey and New York.
Your son is with who? What gang? Well, they're called them the Trenchcoat Mafia.
Or the suburban violence that seems to manufacture perpetrators of homeland massacres that destroys an entire community.
Whether it's an elementary school in Newton, or a shopping mall in Oregon, or a temple in Wisconsin, or a movie theater in Aurora, or a street corner in Chicago, these neighborhoods are our neighborhoods, and these children are our children.
Everyone seems to agree that it's time to commit to a serious change with multiple platforms aimed at realizing solid results that work and stand the test of time. TV One has taken a bold step by teaming up with Powerhouse Productions and longtime educator Dr. Steve Perry. The collaborating result, Save My Son.
You didn't make these kids by yourself.
I did think it was my fault.
You guys get to see me do what I do for a living and do relatively well. And that just happens to be something good. Doesn't mean that I don't struggle with the other parts of things that they, we sit down with men at that point. We're just having a conversation about having children and wives or girlfriends or whatever, whatever their situation, their status in life. I'm not here to judge them. We need all hands on deck. We need every single person who has a voice to use that voice to raise up our sons.
One, it's a show that I think started when Rochelle had read an article in Essence magazine and she saw Dr. Steve Perry and some of the things and his passion for how he was going about saving young boys. And I'm going to let her tell her personal story. But she said, we need a show like that for our young boys.
Something happened to my little brother. He just got, caught up in the wrong world and really started acting out in school is where it started. So my family was spending a lot of time trying to get him back on the right track. My husband, my dad, my uncles. I mean, it got so bad that, at times that he couldn't even go to school for an hour before my mother would get a call. And then it was like, oh my God, I gotta go to guidance counsel and police to get involved. And now, so it was consuming and breaking down my whole family's household.
The powerful program does the much needed job of reaching out to young minority men and their families with an attempt to derail deviant behavior and enlighten using unconventional tactics and resources.
When you speak to these kids, it's kind of to speak to them at their language. And it's sad, but they would listen to a celebrity more than they would their mother and father. And so, how can we use that type of persuasion to let them get the one-on-one, real-to-real, So Sonia and her team really did a lot of the celebrity booking.
One of the things that makes a celebrity piece work is because people like to listen to people who they feel like they have a relationship with and respect for. And so with most of those celebrities, they feel like they know them.
You see this young person that's 12, 13, or 14, and you say, you know what? If I don't step in and be a true role model and show these kids what their life can be, because I got back on track. What's my celebrity for?
All these brothers came in, and I mean all of them. Not one brother who participated in Save My Son as a celebrity mentor came in and gave us anything but their guts.
Dr. Perry produces his own program every day as principal of a Connecticut public school. But convincing Dr. Perry to allocate time to a TV show was no easy task.
I had saw this article with Dr. Perry, and then I saw him also on CNN in Black in America, right? And I was like, I'm one down to work with him. I don't know when, but one day, because he was so powerful.
And she said, and there's so much that you do that people don't ever get a chance to see. And if they had the opportunity, they could learn from it to save their own sons. You're only going to get to serve the people in this building if you keep doing what you're doing. And if you allow us to put what you do on film, there's so many more lives that will be touched and so many more children who could be saved.
Dr. Perry's concern for his kids is apparent. The school is full of activity, and for Dr. Perry, the theme remains consistent.
It really does start with love. It really does start with love. The techniques vary. You know, sometimes you get in the kid's behind, you know, you get in his chest. Other times you just sit him down and say, come on, Chief. But it's about building trust with the kids and let them understand that I'm here for you.
The love theme carries over to the TV program as well. The goal is to help individuals and their families. Now with a full season behind them and talks of a second season, Powerhouse's planning phase begins with the key element still on board.
We've worked with a lot of talent. He is by far one of the most talented people we had ever worked with.